decision making. Decisions do not get immediate or easy consensus quite easily. By consensus, everybody agreeing to the same decisions in a company, or if you're in a classroom, everybody agreeing to the same idea. Thus, we understand that leaders require to swim against the tide or take decisions that usually rock the boat. That usually create conflict. So we understand that many people take the play safe or maintain the status quo in a simple method to go with the majority of the popular view. While taking decisions, everybody would take the safe method. Oh, I do not want to become appear as a bad person in front of my friends. So let me go along with their decisions. Let me not take another different decision. But that is a defeatist attitude, because it does not confront the difficult issues that stare at the organization or the goal that is meant to be achieved in that particular work you're hoping to achieve. You understand it will only result in the decline of a business if you are in an organization, or in the non-achievement of that particular thing you are about to do. You see that strong leaders are not struck by this, and they do not stay away from such bold decisions they have to take. They possess the mental toughness, and they are not concerned about bouquets or brickbats, and they think over the possible impacts and risks of such decisions, and have the right contingency actions in place. This correct decision, you have to think a lot about it before taking the correct decision. It brings up new perspectives. The commanding grip over the situation and the position gets other people to listen to them. You can't put forth your decision in a weak manner. You have to be confident about your decision. Then other people will listen to you, and you can win their confidence, and positively this results in the work to be done. You can find many examples of leaders who have taken the decisions in the proper time, in the proper manner. A perfect example would be freedom fight leaders who fought for India and its liberation from the British colonization. The correct decisions at the right time, at the right moment, it led to a freedom. Such leaders had much hope and pride and expectation for the unification of the liberation and unification of a country, and we went along with their decisions, and we fought along with them. Inability to take bold decisions promptly at the prompt time may cause immense harm to any case, whatever it be. Hence, the ability to take bold decision is considered one of the most important quality, the possession of which will be a great help to anybody eager to progress to the higher ranks in his professional career. Next, I'll be moving to interpersonal relationships. Interpersonal relationship is a connection or an association between an individual with an individual with a group, or an individual with or a group with an individual, or with a group with the group. From the moment of birth, human beings depend on each other to satisfy their needs. Gradually, it becomes a habit, right from infancy to expand, to become or to include emotional and social needs. Human beings want praise, respect, affection, love, achievement. How do we acquire these qualities? These qualities or these needs are acquired through social learning, and social learning would include seeking relationships with people who can satisfy your needs throughout your life. So we come to interpersonal relationships. The types of interpersonal relationships can be many and have lasting consequences. It can be short. For example, you are interacting with a shopkeeper while you are purchasing a mobile. Or it can be a lifelong, such as a relationship, or such as the relationships you enjoy with your friend, your family members. Professional interpersonal relationships are there, such as those with colleagues or doctors or business clients. Each take different tone, and the relationship you share with each is different. At the same time, they are dynamic and they can change continuously during the existence of that relationship. They grow and improve gradually. So you understand that interpersonal skills become an important aspect of interpersonal relationship, and thus it becomes part of your personality. What do you mean by interpersonal skills? It means congenial and pleasant interaction of people with others. Many psychological factors influence our behavior while interacting with others. This is called an interpersonal skill. Those possessing interpersonal skills are capable of appropriately communicating with different people who also possess a variety of personality traits. How you accommodate with them, how you adjust with them, how you react with them without creating any conflict. This is called interpersonal skill. Since this skill is constantly evaluated by everyone around us. If you are good to your friend today, if you are angry with your friend today, this is being evaluated. If you share something with your friend today, if you do not share something, you are evaluated. So you are constantly being evaluated. So we understand that these interpersonal skills are inherent in everybody, but they need to be nurtured and developed, because in every interaction there could be some sort of conflict. So they need to be nurtured and developed with such an effort for which the necessary personality and behavioral traits are resolving conflict. An example of resolving conflict would be, if there is an interpersonal relationship, you have to understand resolving conflict also. Resolving conflict means you are taking an overall interest in the organization without creating bitterness in the people, or if you're in college, not creating bitterness in the team members while working together in a project, while conducting festivals, then as I said, while creating an equipment or machine, or creating a poster or website or anything, there will be conflicts because there are so many ideas coming together and there will be clash of ideas. One who possesses such interpersonal skill to resolve conflicts, understand the rationale behind his decision. He should, one person, and anybody who is an adept in creating a diplomatic relationship, he will be able to benefit the team members or the team or the project or the organization, and because his objective views will be recognized. He is not becoming overly emotional or getting dominant with his ideas. He can keep a smiling face, a cool demeanor. It costs nothing and can create an infectious aura around you to make the others also become positive, energizing, and become productive. You can have an appreciative attitude. In your interpersonal relationship, you can appreciate the other person. You can get the best out of your teammates and co-workers by appreciating their work. You can just give a small pat in the back, or you can say, well done, way to go, carry on your good work. This will help increase their enthusiasm. While expressing ideas, you can also be assertive, at the same time becoming very polite also. You can clearly state your expectations, your views. At the same time, try not to be rude. Your communication skills, it becomes a cornerstone. It is possible to avoid conflicts and communicate crisply. Don't think and keep the thought process in a tight manner in your mind. Just come out with the best things, filter them, sift them, and communicate your ideas without ambiguity to your team members. Listen to them and develop empathy with them. Listening improves your relationships. Your interpersonal relationship can get, especially in a corporate setting, and you can develop your empathy also. You can appreciate the other person's position, his slot in that team. You can understand how one would have felt if he were in the same position as you, etc. What are the different theories of interpersonal relationship? A number of theories have been formed, like attachment theory, value theory, social exchange theory, equity theory, etc. What is attachment theory? It upholds that human beings are social animals and feels secure in another's company. For example, the need for attachment to form close relationships, like children develop attachment based on their experience and interactions with people around them. For confirming and valuing relationship theory, I would say it upholds that human beings need company when they want to confirm and validate their idea. When you come up with an idea, you just want to sit tight. You need not want to sit tight and keep that idea for yourself. You want acceptance for that idea. You want to communicate it to the other person. You want to get it validated. You want to have the other person give a value for that idea. Then there is a social exchange theory. These are the different theories of interpersonal relationships. I spoke about attachment theory and confirming and valuing relationship theory. Social exchange theory means the theory propagates give and take, because in every society there is a give and take formula. It forms the basis of almost all relationships. The intensity might vary, but the give and take will always be there. The rewards can be love, status, information, money, services, etc. Then there's the equity theory. It explains that apart from rewards, people are concerned about equity in their relationships. They believe that the rewards and costs they experience in a relationship should be strongly equal to the rewards and costs experienced by the other person also. They believe that it is not they themselves who should be receiving the benefits of the idea. The other person should also be receiving the idea. So here comes the equity theory, the theory of equality. Finally, we come to the interpersonal conflict. Conflict refers to a situation of discord, a dispute, or disagreement between persons who have opposing views on a particular issue. You have to understand why should I accept the other person's views. My ideas are predominant. They are important. They are correct. This is a wrong way of thinking. The other person has reason to believe in such and such a theory. It is so interpersonal conflict would mean it is a disagreement between two individuals or subgroups of an organization, and it involves resentment. Anger comes in, resentment comes in, conflict comes in. Difference in values and beliefs result in disagreements. The quantity of conflict in a relationship is not important. It's not as important as how the conflict is handled. When well managed, this can be more rewarding. When well managed, interpersonal conflict has the potential to lead to more rewarding and satisfactory relationship. The ability to manage conflict and negotiate desirable outcomes helps us become successful. So in professional settings, the ability to engage in conflict movement is what you call as conflict resolution. Types of conflict: people-based, against issue-based, personal differences, informational deficiencies, role incompatibility, environmental stress, etc. So People-focused conflicts are based on emotions and feelings, and it is more of a type of personal attack, while issues-based conflicts are centered on issues and events. So you should be concentrating on the issue, and you should not attack the person who is carrying the idea behind it. The disagreement should be on the issue and not on the person. The anger should be on the issue and not on the person. So personal differences are a common source of interpersonal conflict, because every person brings a unique set of values, perceptions and expectations, which is incompatible for you. So you have to try to understand why that other person has such and such set of values. Why do the other person carry such a perception? What are his expectations? It should be given as much respect as the other person gives respect to your set of values. Informational deficiencies also create interpersonal conflict. For example, it occurs when communications are not received or partially received or is interpreted. So this communication gap should be filled in. Role incompatibility. It becomes a cause because of differences between goals and responsibilities assigned to an individual. As I said earlier, you give some work to an individual, but that individual is not fit for that work. So here comes role incompatibility. What about environmental stress? It is caused due to uncertainty of future events. You might not understand that there should be some scarcity of resources. What Mahatma Gandhi said, there is enough resource for the human beings all over the world. It is only if you waste it that your resources are not enough for you. You cannot misuse your resources, such as food, money, natural resources, etc. This will lead to dispute. So you will have to understand why the environmental stress is caused. This conflict can be resolved by you alone and not by the other person. You can make the other not by you alone, I mean in combination. You can make the other person understand that resources are to be shared, resources are to be minimalized. Different conflicts are not confined to interpersonal relationship also. It can occur between alone, it can occur between large groups and even entire nations. You see the differences in religious beliefs and practices are often at core of many national conflicts. Disagreements over government policies can also lead to major disputes. These things can be done peacefully also. That is why you have to understand the interpersonal conflict and have to engage yourself in resolving these conflicts, which I talked about in the earlier parts of this segment on interpersonal relationship. The last one on this segment is understanding the big picture. By big picture, you mean, what is the big picture? The big picture in contradiction to the small picture. If you're working in a company, you see the big picture of and become extremely understandable about the big picture. That way, there are no fights like these are my pieces or these are your pieces. Here, the imagery is of a jigsaw puzzle. What happens when you don't see the big picture? A jigsaw puzzle would require, for example, if you take a scenery of the sun, the trees, the seas, and on the sides we have the traffic going along, people coming in a park, there are ice cream shops over there are cafes over there, and these are jigsaw puzzles that can be put in a picture. Little children, little kids playing on the jigsaw puzzle, putting many pieces on the board and forming a big picture, understanding the big picture. It's not the sun alone, it is not the beach alone, it is not the car, it is not the park alone. You're putting all these puzzles together in one big picture, into a big single picture, and you see the big picture at a single glance. Why should you see the big picture? It makes you share a common vision with other members of the group. When everyone sees the same big picture, there is a shared vision, a common goal that everyone aims for. The barriers of communication reduce, and there is likely to be better receptiveness for one's views and its method of expression. It also makes you less self-centered. Taking the example of the jigsaw puzzle once more, there is no longer the hoarding of pieces of information. If three of you are made to put together the jigsaw puzzle, and you sit with all the pieces in your hands, and you can put one picture in one place and sit tight. The other person has to put the other picture in its perfect place. So what happens here? There is no hesitation in giving the piece away to others. So each of you puts the piece onto the board, and that way you're solving a big problem. Finally, when all the pieces come together to the board, you get the big picture. The whole scenery is there for all of you to see it together. So you understand that all of your requirements are the same. You would be in a better position to tell the teammates, hey, you have not put the light blue color there, you have not put the sun there, you have not put the picture of the car over there, please give them to me. So what happens here? The barriers of communication is reduced, and all of you are coming to know the end goal. You have a plan to get to the end of the goal. Because your goal is putting that picture there, the whole of the picture. You're knowing your role in getting to end the goal. You know you have to give your piece to that jigsaw puzzle. The other person knows that he has to keep that piece in that particular place. And if it goes wrong, you have to put your correction. You have to take that piece from that particular spot and keep it somewhere else. In this way, if you're working, take the imagery to your organization. There you're making corrections, you're giving ideas, you're putting your picture along with the team members for the other person to see it. Both of you or all of you are going together to the same goal. The trying of pieces is no longer based on just color. It is based on the picture. It is based on the ideas. Though it may take several times to correct it, so there will be increased communication. Sometimes when the team members don't see the big picture, there will be somebody helping you out. Some senior person will be coming out and telling you, see, the big jigsaw puzzle is going incorrect there. This is what happens if you take the imagery in your school or in your classroom. The teacher will be helping you out and saying, see, your jigsaw puzzle piece is not properly put over there. So suddenly the other member will be taking your piece and putting it over there. This is a sort of increased communication that is happening in a horizontal manner. Sometimes towards the end, the last piece that is being put on the board, that person can't claim that he is the winner, because the previous jigsaw puzzles pieces that were put in, all of the members who had put in, all of them are equally contributed, have equally contributed, and so each of you can take pride in your work. So the big picture here, closely coupled with seeing the big picture, is taking pride in your work, because it has brought all of you together into this. The interpersonal relationship has grown, the interpersonal skill has improved. So you have a sort of pride in you, because you are enjoying your job. You have visualized your role in it. You are contributing to the business. or the factory, and your mark, you have made an indelible mark in your institution if you have done through these through this type of participative spirit, because you have worked or studied passionately, the fire in you has worked, and you had understood your role in creating the big picture, and you were passionate about it. You have felt, you have seen and displayed a visible excitement in your studies. You have understood the perils and the challenges. Your clear sense of your big picture thus assisted you to identify alternative strategies and to overcome obstacles. This sense of direction will make you strive for excellence and identify your qualities, your self-awareness, and create a totally positive attitude towards your studies, your work, your ideas, your ideals, and make you a successful person. With this, I come to the end of the session. I will be putting some questions towards the end of the PDF. You will be going through the notes and try to answer all these questions, which will be watched and monitored for further going on to the next session. Before that, I would ask you to study these notes and be prepared for the next session. For the time being, thank you.